8:30 in the morning. And on occasion I could do that, but not always. Not always. We never failed to meet the need, but when I said I will be there, I realized it had been interpreted as me. And they got very angry at me. So I had to learn something from that as well. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I've gotten down, realized their denial issues. I'm thinking of my sister and my brother. My brother doesn't believe in God. He's a Christian, but he's an atheist. Now, tell me that one. But
it's obviously working for him.
Oh, yes. And my sister doesn't want to discuss death and funerals, which I love to do because I'm planning my own. And then the other one, the families can accept me. And I don't mean the one that you're taking care of, but the family.
Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely. Easy or hard?
That would be, well, I've not had that problem because I've only worked with my own family or in a nursing home. Yeah, sometimes it could be tricky.
Yeah, sometimes it can be tricky. And it isn't about you. It's about what you represent. Mm-hmm. It's about what you represent. If we are care providers, we represent to someone, in many cases, their inability to take care of themselves. Has nothing to do with you and I. They are already predisposed to not like the situation. And we often represent the situation. And that's something that we have to remember. That it isn't, you haven't even met me yet and I know you don't like me. Because it's the situation that's uncomfortable for you. And if you think about it, you and I, we don't have to think about tying our shoes or getting up and going potty or making a cup of coffee in the morning. And yet, at some point in our lives, we might have to ask someone to help us do those things or permission to do them. And none of us will be gracious either. I always like to think I will be, and I know myself. I won't be. And I pray I fall over dead before I get there. And I think my daughter does too. So that she won't have to I'm going to be awful. I know that about myself. And that's something hard to think about. But that's also who we represent to many people. It's not us, but they're beginning to have to adapt and change to lesser expectations of themselves. What else do you expect? What do you really expect? Yes, ma'am.
I expect them to try the best to participate in the care.
Absolutely. One of us is working real hard here. Isn't it fair that we would ask them to participate in whatever way is possible? And for many people, they want to. And there are just as many people I have learned who say, you take care of me. I have taken care of people all of my life. Now it's my turn. Here I am. And you not only meet my needs, you anticipate them, which now means we have to become mind readers. And I am a very good mind reader. I read everybody's minds. I don't interpret it correctly, but I can read their minds perfectly. I have no idea what they want from me. What else? What else do you expect from them? Absolutely. Thank you for saying that. Sometimes I'll work a whole hour with a group before somebody will say, is it all right if we expect them to be grateful or some kind of appreciation? Absolutely. You are not in the business of care providing in whatever capacity you serve to get thanked. But isn't it wonderful when somebody says thank you? Or even, and sometimes they don't even say the words, they just nod their head. Or sometimes, depending on how you are providing care, maybe they go away and they don't need you anymore. That's also a thank you. If you're in a counseling capacity or a therapist capacity and someone comes to you in great need and you're able to help them and they can eventually say, I'm on my own again. That's a wonderful thank you. Whether they say thank you to me or not, because they no longer are in that position where they needed what I had to offer. That's a great thank you. But is it so wrong to expect to be thanked? Remember, the difference between getting and expecting it are often different. In fact, what is your schedule of appreciations? How long can you go between thank yous? How long have you gone between thank yous? I mean, a year. Oh, who said, no, don't raise your hand. Yeah, I was going to say weeks or months, but years. Absolutely. And sometimes you just need a thank you. It's amazing that one thank you will last you a very long time. It's so important, in fact, that whenever you get a thank you, whether it's a note or a nod of the head or just that look in somebody's eye, I want you to record it on your calendar I want you to write it down on a 3x5 card. Today at 11:05 a.m., Mrs. Jones said thank you to me, or nodded to me and smiled, and I knew it was a thank you. I want you to get a file folder. I want you to mark it applause. Put it in your file folders under A. And anytime you are feeling very, very empty and unappreciated, go open that file. Because most people forget to say thank you. And since we know how powerful it is in our lives, it's